I'm Bryan Zar, and this is my wife Brooke. We're sitting at Restaurant Des Familles in Crown Point, Louisiana. Crown Point is just about 15 minutes south of downtown New Orleans, but we're pretty much in the swamp. We're surrounded by all the bayous and the water and all that good stuff.
It feels far away more than it actually is. It's a lot quieter, a lot more slow-paced. Lots of locals. This is where all the fishing is. Mostly what the tourists do is they come down here to go on the swamp tours or the airboat tours. We've got several companies that are within just a couple miles of us. So they'll leave the city for a day, do a nice leisurely swamp tour, and get to see the gators and all the swamp lands. They'll come out,
it's
do
really
that
terrific.
sort of stuff.
Everybody still gets to do the downtown French Quarter Bourbon Street thing, and after you do that for 2 or 3 days and you're here for a week, you need a break.
Yes, you need a little bit more slow-paced to kind of see Louisiana.
A lot of concierges will recommend to come to this area and see the bayou and see the national park and take a swamp tour and come eat at our restaurant. Well, I first started working at Restaurant Des Familles when I was 15 years old as a busboy. I worked as a busboy, I became a server. All in all, I was here for 6 years until I graduated from college. I kept in touch with the owner throughout the years as I went on to work for other restaurant companies across the country. And one day she called me and told me she was going to be selling the restaurant. After 16 years of running it, she was ready to retire. So we got to talking and we were able to work out all the details, and we came over and purchased it.
So she closed down on a Sunday evening and we came in on Wednesday morning and didn't miss a beat. All the staff stayed the same, all the recipes stayed the same. We literally she had a good thing going. Most restaurants can't last that long. So for 16 years, she was clearly doing something right. Once we sort of learned our way around and got to know our new staff and our new kitchen, you know, we came in and tightened things up a bit and made all the small changes that we wanted to.
We certainly have some strong ties here. I mean, I especially do because I worked here for 6 years. This was my first job. It was, you know.
There were some people who worked here before who still work here now.
It was my first insight to the restaurant business, which I decided, hey, this is what I want to be in. 95% of our menu is comprised of seafood, and we try and source as much as humanly possible local. We have the town of Lafitte, which is just across the bayou from us, and it's packed with fishermen who bring us fresh shrimp whenever we need it. You know, they got people out there doing crabs and oysters, so this is a perfect location for a restaurant of this type because we have such easy access to all this wonderful seafood.
They'll call us, you know, in the morning when they're coming in from fishing. Hey, I got this type of shrimp today. You want to buy any? Yeah. So it's really cool. It doesn't get any fresher, doesn't get any easier, and we are doing business in our community. So, and they get to do the same. It's awesome. I love it. If somebody's coming here for the first time, I definitely recommend trying our soft shell crabs. I'd never even heard of them until I moved here. It looks funny, and I don't think it's a food item that's prevalent across the rest of the country. And they taste fabulous because, of course, it's local and it's fresh. So we were very directly affected by the oil spill. Everybody in our community was. The fishermen couldn't fish, so we couldn't buy shrimp. Fishermen couldn't go out and catch the oysters, so we didn't have oysters to serve. We struggled a lot with our menu, and as well as people who did come in and get something else were always worried that, you know, any seafood that we did have, was it safe, was it clean, was it okay to eat?
As of this day, I mean, we're now getting, our fishermen are going back on the water. We're getting our shrimp back from the people we used to get before the spill happened.
Oysters too. We finally got our oysters back. Those took a little bit longer, but we're getting back. Certainly not the amounts that we used to, but our regular shrimp guy is back and bringing us his shrimp, and our regular oyster folks are bringing us our oysters again.
It's getting back to normal.
But the quality's fabulous. Everybody's so excited, first of all, that we get our oysters back and our shrimp back at all. But they just seem to look fabulous. I think they've really been inspected and checked out, and everything just looks good. And boy, our regular guests can tell that we're not getting that shrimp from Texas anymore.
Yeah. We made a decision just to take oysters off the menu completely.
Yeah.
When we couldn't get the Louisiana oysters anymore, we decided to report our menus and say, well, I'm sorry, we can't offer anything. Not saying that there's anything wrong with those oysters, they're just not what we're used to serving.
Right, not what our locals are eating, what they're used to eating.
I think our guests would have been very disappointed, so we made a decision just not to offer any. And now that we do have them back, they're even more excited.
Yes.
I guess it was one of those things where you haven't had it in a while, and you're like, wow, this is really fantastic. So it's good. Seeing it and tasting it on a daily basis like I do, it's I think the quality's better than it was before. And I don't know if it's because there's so many other eyes that are actually looking at the seafood as it comes in, all the different agencies that are out there testing on a daily basis. It's making the quality better.
We're appreciative that we can kind of have been able to be a part of the recovery effort and were involved in feeding the crews. It certainly helped us keep going because we're still brand new restaurant owners. I mean, we had been the owners here for 8 months before the oil spill happened, and we were already taking over at a time when it was iffy. Yeah, bad economy, a restaurant in recovering New Orleans, which we still see the effects of Katrina all the time. We were
we had a lot of things stacked against us, and
we really did.
Oil spill on top of it.
Yeah, so we've had to kind of roll with a lot of punches, but we're still here. We have great food. We've got a great staff, and just thankful, I guess. And we plan to be here.